Cora, I'm glad to support this PMB here this evening to nullify and rescind the statutory instrument or blank cheque that was given to you last week as Minister for Health. I want to thank the Kerry publicans who came up here today to fight their case. The Callahan brothers of the Fáilte Hotel in Killarney, Pat the Tatler Jack, and all the other publicans that left Kerry early this morning. We won't be back there till late this evening to fight, to make a case and to try to bring common sense into their industry, which should have been there all the year. So, Minister, you brought in a bill last week to deal with pubs, a small amount of pubs, you said, that you believed were not serving food with the drink they were serving. And then 6 days later, you're coming out saying that you're going to open all wet pubs. What kind of lunacy are you at? Are you gone stone mad? I'm glad that the Fianna Fáil backbenchers, like Mark McSharry, and the junior ministers, like Anne Rabbitte, and we'll get a chance to vote now, like they said, that with us this evening, because they said that they were sold a pub last week. I'm glad that Sinn Féin will get a chance, as they voted with the government as well, as they did to reduce our speaking time. And they said that your actions last week were nuts, just hours after voting for it. Alan Kelly said it was bonkers, so he'll have a chance here to come in here this evening and or tomorrow, whenever the vote is, to vote against the bill that he brought in last week. The government today are saying they're opening all pubs the 21st of September. I don't honestly believe it yet. And sure, I'm sure no pub would be let open only for the savage pressure that was put on it last weekend, last Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, when people realised what he were after doing. It's hard to make sense out of this government. When there was less than 10 cases a day, he wouldn't allow the pubs to open. So now there's 320 cases a day, and he can open the pubs, no bother. God, it's hard to make sense out of that. The carry on by the Taoiseach and the Taoiseach got disgraceful. The Taoiseach was tweeting he couldn't understand why pubs were closed. Well, he did close them last March. And he kept them closed in June. And as Taoiseach in the present government, he wouldn't allow them to open on July the 20th or August the 10th or on September the 13th like he promised, but he's saying he will open them the 21st. I don't still believe him. He said that the bill was to follow up on a small number of rogue pubs, and he told the public health he told us that the public health and NPHET advised that pubs serving drink should have to serve food. They're denying this now. Is it the government thought up this, or was it Fáilte Ireland? I want to know, and the publicans of Ireland want to know. I asked before, how would the virus know whether we were having a meal with our point or whether we wouldn't have it at all? As for the Taoiseach, it was very, very wrong of him to come out last Friday night and categorically denied that he wanted to know what people were eating, had eaten 28 days after. It is it. Don't be nodding your head or shake it, because he did. That's what he looked for, and they were the regulations he sent out to the pubs and restaurants. The Taoiseach came out Friday night and contradicted that. And it's very misleading to go on like that, trying to mislead honest people and people trying to survive. And TDs and ministers saying one thing and voting the other way inside here. Count Corley, the people of Ireland have lost confidence in our government. Can you picture a man and his son up on the roof of a car back behind in Beaufort last weekend trying to watch a match from outside on the roadside? Two more fellas up on the one ladder trying to see the same match. After the Taoiseach promises before the holidays that he would work with the GA to see how more people could be left into sports fields and into pitches to watch games. And this is what the result of it. He have done more U-turns than any other government in the history of the state. We're on our fourth Minister for Agriculture in 2020. We've lost our trade portfolio at the most critical time of our history. And even though MEPs and officials should, I believe, have special exemptions to travel back and forth from Europe, the same as you, as our Minister for Health, or our Minister for Foreign Affairs, there should be some special way of dealing with all of that. Look, I'll just say one other thing, Minister. An eminent barrister, Constance Cassidy, senior counsel, claimed that the measures that were put in place last week were ill-judged, ill-considered, ill-formulated and ill-understood even by the very ministers responsible for their introduction. And I kind of feel like that is you she's referring to, because you were asked last Friday morning and you said that you knew little about it, and you went in the room then from 5 other radios, they couldn't find you at all.
Thank you, Deputy.
And this is what we have to put up with. And I'm asking the fellows now that voted with the government last week to come out and vote against them this week. Thank you very much, John Corley.
Deputy Healy-Rae.